Alright, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it's Super here and welcome back to another Mortal Kombat 1 video. So today, actually yesterday was patch day for Mortal Kombat 1. There was a lot of updates, a lot of changes to characters, a lot of changes to the cameos, and we had no idea what the hell was going on because there was no patch notes. But today they dropped. I'll leave them linked in the description if you want to go through the entire patch notes. I'll show you guys. Hold on, let me see. Like, it's pretty extensive. There's a lot of patch notes for different characters. Most of the characters, a lot of their patch notes are bug fixes and damage scaling. So there's a lot of moves that, you know, they added damage scaling to, meaning that the move, if it's used in a combo, is going to scale the combo more. It's going to make your combo do less damage. So that's what a lot of these patch notes are. Obviously, you know, right here, one of the gods, or I guess one of the former gods of the game, Baraka, you know, there's a lot of moves of his that do more damage scaling. There's a lot of bug fixes. Johnny Cage got no nerfs, ladies and gentlemen. All the top tiers in the game got nerfs. Johnny Cage got no nerfs. It's pretty crazy. I don't think Kenshi really got any nerfs as well. There's other characters that have different reactions to some of their moves. Like, for example, Reptile, his jump 1-2 actually does a different animation where it sort of sends the opponent flying upwards a little bit more. But I want to talk about two specific characters that I think got like some cool buffs. And for the most part, I want to talk about one thing that I actually don't like as far as a change. And it's not so much the change itself. It's more like the direction where Mortal Kombat 1 is heading. Because you could still get done what you want to do. It's just, you know, you're going to compromise something that you didn't compromise before. And I guess I'll talk about it. I'll like show it off right now. Let's go back to the game here. So they made a pretty much an overall change to the cameos, where if you use two cameo assist that extend your combos, it's going to take longer for your character to recover their assist. So we all know the infamous double Serena combos, right? So we know the infamous double Serena combos. Yeah, some people are not down with being put in a combo for about 30 seconds. You know, there's some other cameos where you use them twice, like Scorpion, for example. I have a lot of combos with a lot of different characters where I use Scorpion twice. And with the new changes, Scorpion is going to recover a lot slower than he used to compared to before the patch. And like I said, it's not so much the direct change right now because it doesn't change too much. But with the direction where that mindset is going is more to nerfing things and taking away the, you know, taking away or toning down the freedom that they promised us, which it's still there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about that. It's not gone or anything like that. But it's more like the direction. Instead of like buffing specific cameos that might not be as strong, that might not have as much combo potential, you know, they're toning down the fact that if you want to extend your combo to the full, you know, two cameos, you're gonna give up a lot. You're gonna wait a lot longer compared to some other characters. Or if you just decide to use one, which is fine. All right, it's fine. You know, it's not really gonna make too much of a difference at the moment. But if that's, you know, indication of where the game is gonna be heading, I am very discouraged because I rather the game have things get buffed than things get nerfed. So for example, you know, some other characters that you might not see too much, like Shujinko, you know, maybe change some of the hit reactions to some of his cameos to make them a little bit better, or you know, just in general cameo characters that you don't see too often. To me, in my opinion, it's better to buff things than to nerf them. Obviously, there are some things that need to be adjusted, right? The insane damage that Baraka and Raiden were doing. Okay, that's you got to adjust that. For as little resources, because, you know, Nitara actually still gets 50% combos, but guess what? I'm using all 3 bars of my meter, all three bars. You know, she's still doing 550 damage for not even using her fatal blow and no cameos is really good. But guess what? I'm using 3 bars a meter to achieve that damage, and that's totally fine compared to Baraka and Raiden were doing 55% damage combos with 1 bar of meter and 2 cameo calls, right? Was it 2 I think it was even 1 cameo call, depending on some situations. So, you know, there are some things that need to get toned down, but I just want to emphasize the fact that I really hope that NetherRealm takes the approach of let's buff things more than they nerf things, if that makes sense. Like I said, some things need to get toned down. It's fine, but in the future, like going forward, from patch to patch to patch to patch, stuff like that, I hope they bring things up instead of bringing things down and toning things down. So I just want to give that rant because, you know, I feel like it's important. So yeah, that's a change that you guys are going to see, that you guys are going to notice when you're playing. I know a lot of people use Serena. I personally use Scorpion a lot, which suffers from the same fate, where if you use your cameo, 2 cameos in the same combo, the cameo is going to take longer to recover now. It's going to take longer to even start recovering, and it's going to take longer to recover. So you have to keep that in mind. That's a big, pretty much across the board change for Mortal Kombat 1. I don't think there's any other like significant changes that I know of at the moment. Obviously I read all the patch notes, but there's nothing that really comes to mind other than the obvious, which I've already talked about. So one cool thing before, actually, you know what, let's talk about Nitara. So I brought these characters on screen because I actually want to highlight Nitara, because I feel like Nitara actually got buffed without really, you know, without much changing. They just changed one thing that I think helps her out a lot, because I think this is why the character has so little health, and this is why they didn't change her health, because the blood sacrifice was always supposed to be something that would help Nitara out as far as her low health. So the blood sacrifice, in my opinion, was designed to help the low health that she has, but it wasn't worth it, because anytime that you would do the blood sacrifice, you would take away like 5% of your own life. And then if you would do one of these, which the normal version, you only recover life whenever you do this special move, right? It would literally cancel it out. So you're giving up pressure, you're giving up offense to activate this thing, and you know, you're sacrificing, potentially getting punished for it, for an even trade, because you do 5% of your own life, and then if you actually hit your opponent, you got to hit them with this once and you regain that 5% back. So why even bother doing it? So that was a huge problem. But now look at this. It went from, I don't know how many points of damage to like 30. I think it was like 150 to like 30 or something like that. It's a pretty significant change, because this makes it really, really useful to do. All it does is a tiny bit of damage. So you could literally throw it out at any time that you want. And one of the best parts about it is they buffed the because they buffed like her blood sacrifice damage that she does to herself. It actually makes the meter burn version 1 useful to do, because the meter burn version actually you gain it sucks away the opponent's life when you're close to them. So oh, here we go. It sucks away the opponent's life when you're close to them, so it actually helps you out in like block string situations. So that is a really, really good buff for Nitara. I feel like that is that's a great buff right there. The fact that she could call in the blood sacrifice at any time, pretty much for no cost. Like that, the damage that she does to herself is almost nothing. And then if you do the meter burn version, you're gonna be able to, you know, recover life when you're close to your opponent. Look how much life I'm recovering. Look how much life I'm recovering. I'm recovering so much life. You know, you do this, they try to poke, blah blah blah. You grab your opponent, you're gaining life. Well, maybe situation, because it only works when you're close to your opponent. But if you're in the corner, that's where you're going to get the most use out of this move, because if you're in mid-screen, it's not really going to do too much unless you know, get the hit. I wish they would have buffed this and, you know, maybe make it a little bit faster. But to be honest, it's actually worth it now to do the blood sacrifice and, you know, have a nice projectile for Nitara. I'm very happy because I thought Nitara was... It was a struggle to win with her because she had so low health, and the blood sacrifice, which is one of her main tools to help her recover life, was pretty much useless because she would do so much damage to herself. So I'm very happy that this is a nice little buff to Nitara, and I'm looking forward to actually playing her again and seeing if this makes a small difference, a noticeable difference, or a huge difference in Nitara's viability, and, you know, how much easier, harder, you know, what the difference is to actually play well and win with her now. You know, I just really like this change for her. Obviously, you if you get somebody in the corner, like I said, you just do your teleport. You set down your blood sacrifice, and, you know, you have them here in the corner. If you want to meter burn it, you can meter burn it. If you don't, you don't. But the fact that you only sacrifice a little bit of life is just such a huge change for her, in my opinion. I really think this is gonna help her out. The other thing with Kung Lao, I just thought it was really cool, the fact that you're actually able to combo from his hat now, because they gave his normal, like, hat projectile more plus frames, so now you could actually use the Nitara assist to combo, as you guys see. Any time that I could use the Nitara assist to combo, I think just looks really cool. I don't know any optimals for him, but, you know, that just looks really cool right there. Any time that I could use Nitara to assist any character, you guys know Nitara and Nitara are like my team that I use with her, just because I like the way the combos look with her and Nitara, and teleporting with Nitara. I use Nitara with Reptile. I just really like Nitara teleport as an assist. So the fact that, you know, whenever I do learn Kung Lao, I might actually play him with Nitara because of this. You know, nice little hit confirmed here. You don't even need to go for anything, you can just finish it off, but I just think that's really cool. So mostly this video I wanted to talk about Nitara because I do feel like it's a big change for her, and you guys know I love Nitara just as a character in general. And I wanted to give a little rant here about the direction where Mortal Kombat 1 is heading. Based on the first patch, it seems like they're toning everything down, but I hope that this is just for the first patch, and going forward they start looking at things more to buff them instead of nerfing them. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Hashtag Nitara buffed. I'm looking forward to playing her again. Thank you so much for watching. I'll leave the full patch notes in the description if you guys want to check them out, see what they did to your character. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.